Okay, in this video, I will discuss an important provision in the SC judgment of Rajnesh versus Neha, which is the core judgment for all maintenance related procedures. Since the time it was passed, I think in October of 2020. So one of the very important provisions in that judgment is that an affidavit of assets and income by both the parties must be filed. So, and my kind of take is that husband should avoid filing it before wife does so, and I will explain the reasons below why that is so important. And in case the court procedures are moving in such a way that husband is being asked to submit it before the wife or simultaneously with the wife, then you can use this memo format, which I will describe along with this video, to inform the court that kindly the procedure which is mentioned in the Rajnesh versus Neha judgment be followed to the letter, because the procedure has been given very clearly. There are no two ways about it. So let me take you to the the memo which has been prepared by one of our members. So I will not show the whole memo. You can join the Telegram group to get a copy of this if you want to. From page 35 of the judgment, this is part of the memo, and I will come to the important part directly. It says that the applicant making the claim for maintenance will be required to file a concise application along with affidavit of disclosure of assets. So that's what we call as the income assets affidavit. Now, the applicant can be either husband or wife, but for practical purposes, we will use, wife for applicant and husband as respondent, because that's what, mostly what we see in the courts. And the other part of the judgment is that respondent must submit the reply along with his affidavit of income and assets within a maximum period of 4 weeks. And then there are, some like how many adjournments can be given by the court and so on and so forth. So I do not want to go into those details. You can read the relevant paras of the judgment. But I want to focus on these 2 points, because the main points in these two paras from the judgment is that the affidavit of assets has to be given along with the maintenance application. So this is one problem. What we are seeing is that many a time the maintenance IA or application will be filed, but there will not be any income and assets affidavit. So the husband must not be eager to submit his assets affidavit along with his reply unless the wife has submitted her complete assets affidavit, because the problem what may arise is that this will be like the old times where the wife does not give her full details because there was no such clear procedure, and but the husband always is kind of asked to give his salary slip or various details. So now the requirement is very stringent, and there are a lot of details like ITR and bank statements to be given along with the disclosure affidavit. So make sure that there is a affidavit of assets by the wife along with her application, and do not proceed to the next step, of giving your assets affidavit unless this part is complete. And this is, I think we just discussed that you have a period of 4 weeks, so you can be prepared beforehand, with your reply, but do not submit it even if you are prepared, because the problem what will happen is that the order may be passed, with incomplete information, and then challenging it later based on the details you find, it will be a uphill task. Any kind of appeal or revision or whatever mechanism of changing the existing order, it's a waste of your time and money. So let's go to why this is important. So I think we have discussed some parts of it already. So I think this is the first part. Like sometimes the wife will file the application, but no accompanying affidavit along with. So in that scenario, you should not go ahead and give your complete reply along with the affidavit, because that's not what the procedure says. And this is another thing what we are observing, that sometimes the court will ask the husband and the wife to submit their affidavits of assets on the next date, on the same day. Now theoretically there may not be a problem, if things prove, go smoothly. But what we observe is that many a time the wives may not submit their affidavit in a complete manner, or you may bring your affidavit, but she will not bring her affidavit. And then, since you have brought your affidavit, then it will get on the court record. And after that, what may happen, we do not have control, because it's difficult to, you know, um, control something when you have already given your information, even though it was not as per the procedure. So that's some kind of a caution which we are telling the husbands to observe. And so this is the same thing, that you may bring your full affidavit. So this is the scenario where husband has brought his full affidavit, on that date, but the wife has given an incomplete affidavit. So that's the scenario. Apart from not giving, she has given an incomplete affidavit. So avoid the situation, because it's not going to be good for your case. Because if the order is passed, then if you want to challenge it, because later on you find that there was information, order was given without that complete information, and or there was an incomplete affidavit submitted by the wife, then it will be your headache to worry about whether perjury is applicable, or how to challenge it in high court, because a family court order you can challenge only in high court. So it will unnecessarily, you have to incur some cost and time and all those things. Now, one question may arise, that is it a mandatory procedure given by the Supreme Court? Then my take on this is that most likely yes. I am not saying an unqualified yes, because family court also, sometimes they may create their own procedure in the interest of justice. But in this scenario, I think that will not apply, because if the Supreme Court wanted to give a discretion, they would not have created an elaborate mechanism where they are even giving a clear instruction that if it is not submitted within 4 weeks, then how many number of adjournments. So they have even said that the courts may not grant more than two opportunities for submission of affidavit of assets by the respondent husband. So if the Supreme Court had an intention that court can modify or have a little bit flexibility, there was no need to give such a clear cut procedure. And there is even a provision of striking of defense of the respondent. So all these things which are defined very clearly, to my mind, any provision of changing this procedure in the interest of justice or speedy justice, it doesn't look very convincing to me. But on a case by case basis, let us say the court requests you that you submit it the next time along with your wife also, then you can submit this memo. So this memo you can download from the group. And if it's still, the things don't proceed as per this judgment, then at least you will have some kind of a written record that you submitted a memo and still the order was passed without following the complete procedures with incomplete information, in case that happens. So your appeal or revision or whatever kind of challenge you make to the impugned order, it will have a higher chance of success. One more reason I would suggest is that wait for wife's affidavit, is because in case she has given, clear lies in her affidavit, so you can file perjury. So why do you need to submit your affidavit? You can straight away go for the procedure of perjury if applicable. And that's the same thing what I said just now, that there is a clear time allotted for husband, and there's a mistyping. What action to be taken if he does not file his affidavit within time, or if he does not file it at all. So to my mind, the procedure is not meant to be flexible. And if that's what being mentioned to you, that you cooperate because anyway it will speed up the things, then you can bring up this memo to the notice of the court. And one more thing in Rajnesh versus Neha judgment is that the date of maintenance will be from the date of application. So there is no point delaying the case, which earlier some people used to do that because they thought that it may benefit them. So kindly always make sure that you're not trying to delay the case. You do not have this wrong notion that if you delay, then you will benefit in any way. Because even if things are delayed from the wife's side, that's one thing. But if you delay it, then ultimately your arrears will accumulate from the date of application of the maintenance. So that's all I wanted to say. So I hope that this was useful, and you can join the Telegram group. The links you can find in this contact page of menrightsindia.net. So thanks for watching.